Maximus bent over, pressing his palms against his thighs as he tried to catch his breath at the bottom of another set of steep stone steps. Streams of perspiration poured down the hollow of his broad back. "Dominus, where are we going?" he sputtered to himself. Max and his patron, Gaius Fabius Rufus, had spent the better part of the early afternoon jogging up and down the steep slopes of Rome in the blazing heat. During the hasty journey from Gaius Fabius's mansion to wherever they were headed, Max had tried to keep up, but the general scaled every damn staircase 2 steps at a time. After wiping the sweat from his forehead, Max shielded his eyes and looked up the stairs into the glare of the midday sun. Max licked his dry lips and shouted, "Commander, wait for me!" His silhouette hollered down, "By the gods, can't you move any faster, Maximus?" Before Max could answer, Commander Fabius disappeared into the blinding light. Max labored to the top of the stairs. There was no sign of his crimson-haired patron, only crowds of poor men and a few hags dragging their squawking brats through the noisy, filthy streets. Max ran his fingers over the solid handle of the dagger strapped to his torso beneath the folds of his tunic. The Emperor had ordered more frequent police patrols to curb street violence, but senseless attacks in broad daylight still occurred in parts of the city. This seedy neighborhood, packed with run-down apartment buildings and shiftless delinquents, was ripe for crime. Max spotted a narrow staircase at the end of the block and ran towards it. Just before he reached the bottom step, a group of inebriated soldiers loitering in front of a shabby tavern stepped out of the shadows and into his path. "What do we have here? A runaway?" the shortest of the gang squawked, wads of white spit bubbling up at the corners of his pudgy mouth. "Where's your owner, slave?" "Answer the centurion's question, Ethiopian," a taller soldier with a shaved head slurred. Max slipped his right hand under his tunic to grasp the handle of his concealed dagger. Although they weren't dressed in full battle gear, the brutes were armed with short swords. Max counted 5 soldiers as they surrounded him. Another soldier belched, "I'd wager it's a convict that's escaped from prison or the arena cages." One brute shoved Max. Another elbowed him from behind. They pushed him towards a dark recess between 2 dilapidated buildings. In his peripheral vision, Max saw stairs just a few feet away. He drew his dagger and backed out of the suffocating circle of thugs. "I'm not a slave." The drunk and armed louts laughed, slapped each other on the shoulders, and tossed back more rancid drink. They crowded around again, forcing Max towards the open door of the tavern. "That's your weapon, savage? A little bitty knife?" The shaved soldier slapped the back of Max's head, while another snatched the dagger out of his grip. "Haul him off the street. We'll school this heathen not to point a knife at a soldier." 2 of the men grabbed Max. "I'm a freedman and a client." "Sure you are, Ethiopian." "Get off me. I'm a client of Gaius." The wiry-haired centurion punched him in the face and ordered his men to take Max to a cell in the rear of the tavern. As they dragged him through the smelly establishment, gamblers and prostitutes cheered at the unexpected entertainment. After barging into one of the back rooms and ousting a whore and her client, they bent Max over and pinned him down, pressing his face against the hard surface of the stone couch. So, the fates had decided he would die on this scorching day. He would draw his final breath draped over a filthy brothel bed. Max shut his eyes and whispered a farewell prayer to his gods.